Ndị be anyị ekeneni m unu n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị si na ya dịrị ndị Igbo na mma. Dịka o si dị, ihe a bụ Igbo Media ka anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasịta maka ana Igbo and Igbo community and ihe debe na Nigeria. Ya bụ ife ka anyị na-ewetara unu na Igbo Media. Dịka isi wee na-esole anyị, ọ bụ na nke a bụ ụbọchị izizi gị ị na-abịa n'ilu akwụkwọ na Igbo Media, kabaru ka subscribe and turn on your notification ka ị miss any of our updates dịka anyị na-etikwu ya n'ilu akwụkwọ kwa mgbe. Dịka o si dị, o nwere ya wetara n'ụbọchị nke taa gbasịta maka ka ya bụ ife si ada and gbasịta maka ka ya bụ ife si akpọtụ n'ala Igbo. Biko mma achọ ka ige ya bụ ife. Ihe a bụ Biafran Prime Minister MAZI Simon Ekpa. O nwere ife okwu n'ilu akwụkwọ mma achọ ka unu ga-esi ya bụ ife ọ na-adọrọpụrụ anyị ifu nche n'ilu akwụkwọ gbasịta maka ihe ndị a niile okwu. Alright, over to you, sir.
This approach, which is the armed struggle approach, we didn't, carry arms in the first place. It has become necessary for us to carry arms. So what we intend to do is that we have been able to lay this particular background and structure. The formation of the Biafra government in exile has given this foundation that is needed, that was lacking for decades. So we have opened several liaison offices across the world, getting ready for the restoration of independence of Biafra after the declaration in December 2nd. So on the 29th of November, from 29th of November to 3rd of December, we are going to have the second convention of the Biafra declaration in Finland. We had the first one in 2023, October, and that where we had some adopted some kind of resolution. We had what we call the Helsinki Declaration, which is the Charter of Biafra. We had alliance, which went into official alliance agreement recognition with Ambazonia, and after that, after the convention, we begin to activate the strategies that we have, which is the political approach. So on the 1st of February 2024, we started the Biafra self-referendum, organized by the Biafra government in the homeland and of course in exile. But one peculiar thing about us is that we have been able to form the Biafra de facto government in the homeland and created the 40 United States of Biafra, what has never been done since after the war. We have also been able to draw the Biafra map, undisputed, with the consent of the entire ethnic nationalities making up the entire Biafra state. So the map is there, the state structure, the government institution, all have been formed in the homeland, and it is the de facto government of Biafra. So we went into this self-referendum. In the first stage, second stage, we recorded about 30 million votes. We started with the electronic voting, and then we'll see how Nigeria was interrupting the voting. We decided to go physical voting by going into state by state, county by county, district by district. In all this, we have unit by unit. So the referendum is being conducted in the first stage of the referendum, the second stage of the referendum, and the third stage of the referendum. And the referendum is going to end on the 28th of November 2024, while the conference will start on the 29th. So we intend to announce the result of the referendum in Finland during the convention. We are also going to pass many resolutions and vote for it. We are expecting a reasonable number of delegates of Biafrans from all over the world to gather in Finland for this convention. And in this Finland, we will, after we have counted the number of the vote, a number of the Biafrans that have given the Biafra government in exile and the homeland the mandate to declare their independence and fight for them. After we have counted this particular voting and the result will be announced. We will not only just announce the result, we will also publish every document that has to do with how the referendum was conducted for the world who care to know, those who care to know and who care to see it. And then after that, if the number of the vote is reasonable enough, the delegates that have come to Finland for this convention will vote for the approval, and on that approval, the declaration for the restoration of independent state of Biafra will follow. We are planning to issue this declaration on the 2nd December, which is the fourth day of the conference. After that, when we have done with the Finland convention, we will now begin to approach Nigeria, which we know it is just going to be for formality. They will never accept anything democratic. They are not democratic in nature. They don't know even what is democracy. They do fraud in election. They kill people to become governors. They kill to become president. So they don't know what is a democracy. So we are now providing solution from what we have learned from the West, that indeed there are ways to conduct election without people getting killed. And you need to see the videos of the referendum voting in Biafra land, where people dress and come without nobody shouting, because of course of the security situation and threat. We can't nobody making noise. Everybody come, make your vote, write your name, put your name down, because we have the record of everyone that voted. For the 30 million, we have the record, we have their names and everything. So when this happens, after this declaration, we will approach Nigeria and the request for the approval and recognition of the self-referendum. We will also do the same thing to African Union, to ECOWAS. All these things are just for formality. These are people who they have put in those positions to hijack the system for the interest of the tyrannic system and nomadic system of government. Most of the people you have in the ECOWAS and the AU are all appointed by the Nigeria state, especially those representing them there. The same thing is applicable to Eritrea. So they are loyal to the government that appoints them. And they are there not to defend the interests of the people, but to the interests of the political party and the interests of the presidents that appoint them and gave them the appointment. That is why Africa is failing today. Because it is all about the interests of those who appointed you, not the interests of the country, not the interests of the citizen, not for the interests of the society. So we know that our communication will not bring anything or any change, but rather we want to do it as a formality. After that, we will continue the delegitimization of Nigeria within Biafra territory. Because the only two things we want to achieve using this process is the legitimization of the Biafra government and the delegitimization of the Nigerian government. And this is going to be the beginning of the delegitimization and the beginning of the legitimization. The legitimization will follow and come in with the pursuit for international recognition, which is going to take time, which is the reason we are here discussing today, which is the reason we are coming to in alliance with Eritrea, which is the reason now the like minds are coming together from abroad, from exile, to begin to bring change in Africa, to begin to push for a different democratic system that will benefit everyone, to bring Western civilization to Africa, where everybody can participate and voted for without getting killed. That's what the President Badran is fighting for. That's what I, Samanekpa, is fighting for, and that's what everyone who is supporting this movement is fighting for. So we can have a better society to live without getting killed, without fear of getting kidnapped or abused. So after that, the delegitimization of Nigeria state will continue as we continue to push with our lobbyists in the Washington DC, making sure that America understands the need for Biafra to emerge as an independent state for their own interest too. It is not just about us. What we are doing now is for the interest of everybody. Nigeria continue to stay as a country is going to be a threat to everyone, every one of us, whether you like it or not. And it is already happening. And I believe that many of them who know about Nigeria knows exactly what I'm talking about. So Biafra becomes alternative to make sure that we have long-term solution to the upsurge of terrorists. And after that, the delegitimization of Nigeria continues. The fight for legitimization of the Biafra government will now take them to the second stage. Like Elias said here, we will continue to create awareness for the people in the United States, those who are in decision making in the US and of course in Europe as well and beyond, for them to understand that Biafra is the only alternative that will bring solution, bring peace, so that all this money they keep sending to money to Africa, when Africa is actually richer than them in natural resources, but they are being mismanaged and all that. So you don't need to be sending aid to Africa. We don't need it. We don't need the aid. The aid is actually what is, making all these people to be what they are today. So we don't need those aids. Rather, we need good governance, good democracy system, a true democracy. We need law and order, where the government will be held responsible when international law, international treaty is breached. Like Nigeria today, they go kidnapping, they go to Kenya to kidnap somebody, kidnap the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, and nobody has sanctioned them. Everybody is fine with it. That is not the kind of society we are fighting for. Nigeria have done this in the 80s. They went to London, to the United Kingdom, to kidnap somebody called Marudiko. And the United Kingdom jailed every one of them that are involved. Today, look at where they are. They have not jailed anybody for kidnapping their own citizen in Kenya. And not only that, even their own citizen is still languishing in the DSS dungeon in Nigeria. And there is nothing have been done. Money have changed hand. Nigeria have bribed all of them and nobody can talk. So we are not looking for that kind of system to continue to live in that kind of system. So what we are doing is that after this Finland convention, where a lot of things will be unveiled, in alliances will be signed and all that, we will go into the next stage. As our lobbies are educating the United States policymakers, we will be busy delegitimizing Nigeria within Biafra land until our voice is heard by the highest authority. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prime Minister, Mr. Simon. Mr. President, any comments on that? And also, I would like to bring a comment from our audience. That was, I think, I displayed it earlier, and just bring it back to the stage so you can comment on that also, Mr. President, Mr. G. Not reading any comment from the Eritreans. So this is, I think, a big question. You on mute, Mr. G.
You are mute.
Yeah, is it a question? Says not reading any comments from the Eritreans. Say it all. Go and find them.
I mean, if you want comment on that, okay. I would say, yeah, it's not. I don't know. But if you any comments on what? Prime Minister.
Number one, I mean, everything he said, I agree with. Especially, on the differences, on the similarities. What sort of governments, what they do to our people. Yes, Africa is not poor. Africa is rich. But a lot of resources has been misused and abused, with so many corrupted people managing our resources. I want to wish them success on their upcoming convention or conference in Finland. Unless the sky is falling apart, transitional Eritrean government in exile intends to be there. No surprise. We may even have some surprise of our own. So I think going forward, we are really to work together. We are consulting with each other to become very, very powerful and support for each other. We just had our convention less than 2 weeks ago. As Ilya said, he was in Ethiopia. That means we found us another friend in the African nation of Ethiopia. Why in Ethiopia? Well, we only go to places or countries that allows you. Can't just go if come tomorrow, whether Djibouti, Somaliland, Sudan, or others. If they allow us or if they invite us to do the convention with heartbeat, without any hesitation, yes, we'll accept the offer and do the conference wherever they allowed us. So in the conference, believe it or not, it was successful and more than what we expected. All those small factions, it is well known, our problem is our fragmentation. We fight for the same reason, our goal is the same, but everybody trying to push the table from every different, maybe 10 angles, and the table not moving anywhere. Therefore, knowing this, those small groups, they were receptive to begin with, and we had kind of consolidated to create one central command. It is amazing. This is the largest population of Eritrean youth, over 300,000, and the next one would be in Uganda. All these are victims of exodus or running from the military, lifetime militarism in other sense. So they agree to come under our tent, which means we are building that team one step at a time. They agreed to come together. This was a big success and a historical milestone. It never happened before. We enter into a conference peacefully and conclude peacefully. But
tupu anyị agakwa n'elu ụmụnna ife a bụ Igbo Media bịa isi na-wetara ya bụ ozi kabarụ ka imetụ aka na share button and like subscribe turn on notification ebe ese ebere metụ ya aka tụsa ya bụ ozi maka continue kwenye na ya ji maka ya wee bịa.
So if you die, you become a victim of the war. The war as of today is not conventional war. And I would like to remind you, I didn't say it. The Chief of Defense Staff, Musa, have on several occasions confirmed that they are at war with Biafra. In the first he mentioned that he is fighting guerrilla warfare. Secondly, he mentioned they were fighting jungle warfare. And then thirdly, he confirmed that they are now fighting asymmetric warfare. I did not say all these things. He said it. So what I'm trying to tell you now is that no matter how they try to cover this asymmetric warfare, which was the last thing he mentioned, that particular asymmetric warfare is happening in Biafra land. Do not fall a victim of stray bullet. When the Biafra Defense Forces, the Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra Resistance Fighters will be engaging these terrorists, our plan is to push them out of Biafra land. It does not matter how many years it is going to take. Even one of the Afonja actually explained what I'm not going to call it, but they know exactly the kind of war that we have, we are facing within the Nigeria terrorist state. They will be the one to be mentioning it. They will be the one to be saying it. All we have to do is to make sure our women and children are defended. They have come with all manner of propaganda telling you, oh, you are bringing insecurity to Biafra land. He is the one causing problem. He is the one bringing the military and all that. All those lies, does not last long. And I have asked them, when they were killing people in MAZI nnamdi Kanu's house, I was not IPOB member. I was not even a Biafra agitator. I was not even part of the Biafra. I joined in 2019. Before I joined, thousands of Biafra has been killed. Thousands of Biafra has been adopted by the Nigeria terrorist state. Before I joined Biafra struggle, thousands of Biafra have died in detention. It was not Simon Ekpa. And what I'm trying to do today is to make sure that the atrocities committed against Biafra people before I even joined the Biafra struggle is revenged. Number one, we must revenge the killings of Biafrans in the 60s. Today, nobody has been tried in any court internationally as for war crime. For the crime of genocide, which is the highest crime that have committed after the Holocaust, nobody has been tried in Nigeria. We will take that law into our hand by defending our land today. In the 21st century, the mark of that, the wound of that killings of Biafra is very, very, very glaring on us today. And what we have to do is to teach lesson to those who have killed us and still bragging after 50 years. After 50 years, they have put a system that have disenfranchised every Biafran, that have marginalized us, that have put poverty as the only inheritance as a Biafran under Nigeria. They enacted a law that made sure that every resources that come from Biafra land is being controlled in Abuja by the Fulanis, while the natural resources like gold in the north is being controlled by them. How can you live in a country such as this, where there are two laws, where they have restructured the country, and in the north, they are practicing Sharia law, controlling their own natural resources, the gold, and the gold that they found in Zamfara belong to Zamfara state, while natural resources in Biafra land belong to the federal government. How do you reconcile that? My fellow Biafrans, this is not the first time they are giving loan or loaning money from outside the country and Biafra land was excluded. During the time of DK Kwerimadu that is serving jail term in London today, they collected loan from China and not Southeast was excluded from that loan. Today, they have also excluded the Southeast and South part of Biafra in the student loan, which is even a very good development, because before, during the time they shared the loan from China, they gave at least 1 small percent to the South then, because then it was not clear whether these people have been deceived or not. My fellow Biafrans, during the time of Obasanjo, when the 6th geopolitical zone was created, in order to divide the Biafra people, divide us into pieces, so that they will tell you that the 5 eastern states is the Biafra they are fighting for. My brothers and sisters, today we have defeated them by defining our map, and that map is undisputed. The only time this particular map of 40 states will be disputed is when we are at the United Nations. When the United Nations will come, if they like, and we are going to again challenge any alteration of this map to the highest level. So everyone today who is very proudly finding himself or herself in the map of 40 states of Biafra must understand that you are going to be protected at all costs. We are not going to cede not even 1/4 or not even 1 plot of that map to anywhere. You are going to be protected by the Biafra government. I will make sure that everything we do today is using true democracy, not by dictatorship. We have conducted self-referendum, which is still ongoing, and the people scattered all over these 40 states has spoken today, over 50 million of them. 50 good million. How many were you in the Nigeria general election? Because the people are tired and they are no longer interested in Nigeria. Only 25 million. Today we have doubled that number. And this has further shown that not only that these people disenfranchise us, there is no data. It was on purpose. They made sure that there is no data so that they will continue to tell lies about your population. Biafra, we are going to have one of the world-class database systems, just like Finland. My brothers and sisters and my fellow citizens of Biafra, I promise you that I am bringing Finland to Biafra. And what does that mean? What it means is that I am bringing a system of government where your right will be protected. I am bringing a system of government where if you do not have money, the government will care for you. I am bringing a system of government where you can stay in your home and cast your vote. I am bringing a system of government where you are going to have a world-class and world-standard national insurance scheme where you can go to hospital and without dropping any deposit, the hospital will treat you. You are going to be examined with the world-class, state-of-the-art machines and facilities. That is the kind of system I'm bringing. I am bringing Finland to Nigeria, to Biafra, and after that, every other thing about security will be a bygone. I am bringing Finland to Biafra, where the political parties will have their elections and the people will make their choice without anybody carrying gun to kill each other. I am bringing a system where you can never forge our national identity card nor the Biafra passport. I am bringing a system of government where you are going to travel as a Biafran, and whenever you present your ID card or passport, the or immigration authority will already know that Biafra is built on the marble and on stone, that nobody can forge and present their identity card on or the international passport. I am bringing Finland to Biafra. It is going to be a system where when you answer yes, your yes is yes. Not when you answer yes, somebody will go and start investigating it, whether it was supposed to be no. I am bringing a sense system, what is going to be the beginning of the civilization in Africa. That is exactly what I'm bringing to the Biafra people. And I know they understand this. I have promised them several times I am bringing Finland to Biafra. Today, everything the Biafra Republic government in Israel has done is exactly the system of Finland. We have adopted international, the national ID card, which is going to have a very highly secured e-ID card that has the same feature with the European Union ID card. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that the security features of our national ID card as a government in exile and the de facto government who is yet to gain independence, the security feature is the same standard with the European Union? That's where we are starting. Very expensive, but it is worth doing. What this means is that the database system of Biafra is going to be as strong as the Schengen system. What it means is that the system I am bringing to Biafra is where we will go into agreement and negotiation with other world powers and other countries that if you must do business with us, you are going to respect our citizens, respect their international traveling document, where we are going to go into agreement to understand that we need each other and actually they need us more than we need them. So if as a Biafran, you are going to travel to many countries visa-free. I am promising Biafra people that by the special grace of God, I am bringing a system of government where you are going to be more valued than all these countries that are issuing visa or citizenship on investment, where you can travel over 120-something countries when you have their international passport. Biafra is going to be more and better than them. We have something they never had. But today, they are respected because of the system they have built, because they have a very secure system where the citizens of those countries are respected all over the world. My fellow Biafrans, believe me, you will have one day visa-free to America. You will be begged to travel to America, and you will have no reason to travel to America, except when you want to go on holidays. And many of you will not even go to holidays because you are going to have that thing they have in America in Biafra land. My fellow Biafrans, I want to inform you that today we have a very high-level meeting with developers that are already interested in building more than Dubai in Biafra land. I am just overwhelmed and too happy this evening that such is happening. That is the dream I have for the Biafra people. A lot of investors are already coming knocking at our door. When are we coming? When are we coming? Is it after December? When should we start? The investment they are running, those investors that are running away from Nigeria, they are knocking at our door.
Ndị be anyị daalụ nne nnukwu unu si wee na-esore na Igbo Media dịka unu si na-esore anyị sị na Chukwu ka abịa mapụrụ mmiri na ya gozie niile n'ofu n'ofu otu anyị kwuru otu akọ ya dịrịrị ise 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 ekepekwa alụ ka itinye alụ nke gị na ihe niile na gbasara maka ihe Biafran Prime Minister kwugasị n'iru akwụkwọ ana ndị ọzọ dị iche iche kabarụ ka itinye alụ nke gị ife ichere n'ụdị nke gị gbasara maka ya bụ ife dịka anyị nọkwa na-echekwa olileanya na Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ya pụta oge na-adịghị anya na n'ụlọ mkpọrọ anyị sị na Chukwu ka abịa maka inye ya ike nọnyere ya chekwaba ya mana anyị kwuru otu akọ ya dịrịrị ise ise ise. Thank you and also stay tuned at Eastern News 24. Ka emesịa nụ ndị be anyị.